Greetings, my friends. This is Gilles Mancion. I wanted to come and wish you a wonderful day. For it's very hot here. I don't have a swimming pool. For I used to live in hot countries, and it's kind of nice to be able to spend your day in the water, mostly for Pisces. For it's like all that I'm saying in terms of spiritual education. I'm going to pull out a few cards for the solstice preparation. All I'm saying here is a relation to the energetic signature of the number 9 incarnation I am into. For if you add the day, the months, and the year of your birth, you will come to a number, and then you reduce it to one number, and that is the number of your incarnation. So you understand if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For me, it's 27, so it's a 9. It's a completion cycle. So I'm all explaining that. I'm all that I'm doing is relationship to this completion cycle. But if you're on any other path, you may have a different approach to things. Just as the astrology is very essential. I'm not even talking about astrologers' interpretation of the transit, which is always enlightening, but to analyze your own personal birth chart, for that, those are celestial energy that your soul and your spirit chose that moment in time and space to incarnate, and you were imprinted with celestial energy. And so the more you analyze your chart, you understand those are filters of consciousness. For your ascendant is how you perceive the world and how the world perceives you. The sun is where your spirit lies for this incarnation. The moon is your emotion. The Venus is the likes and dislikes. Mars is the willpower. Mercury is the interpreter of the sun. It can also be the trickster when we're not enlightened, but otherwise he will communicate the message from the soul. It's Hermes, the messages of the god. On the bottom root of our beings, there is Pluto that rules the lower chakra. The second chakra, the navel, the sacral chakra, is ruled by Saturn. The solar plexus is ruled by Jupiter. That's an enlightened form when we have a light body. The sun regulates the heart. Chiron regulates the communication and the intake into the body, the healer. The Mercury rules the sixth chakra, the world of dreams and expansion. And Uranus is the awakener, the one that opens the gates into the higher planes. And so the more you understand your own personal charts, the more you understand, the more planets you have in any one constellation is where you have your strengths. But if you do not have, so you have the north node of the moon will give you the directions of your life. And when we have less planet in our chart is where we have to work on, because we do not have all that much strengths. But for something interesting is in Leonardo da Vinci natal chart, he had planets in all the 10 major planets in all the 10 constellations. For in astrology, we essentially take on consideration of 10 major celestial bodies, but there are thousands of other ones. I will put in the cover my own personal charts, a painting I made. I incorporated 150 different planets. And eventually I will make maybe some large paintings with all the conjunction and sextile and triangle and all that, only for the 10 major planets, because if with 150 it would just become a monochrome. It would be so much going on. But so the small planets have an influence. They all and planets that we'll come to realize they're conscious beings, they're intelligent beings, and they communicate with each other through astrological energy, we call. But it's also known that they emit sounds, frequency. Pythagoras is the first one that discovered that. It's called the music of the spheres, and eventually we'll tune into this frequency. For now, for me, it's like I don't really pay attention to all the discourse of all the astrologers, although sometimes it is interesting. It is mostly when there's a planet that comes in direct influence on my consciousness, my I am presence, or when my guides just point it out, and then I can connect and receive more. So eventually we learn to communicate directly with the planets. For all the planets are here to assist us in regaining our own power, just as Neptune can be can create illusions and addiction. It can also liberate us from addiction, and it also can allow us to experience higher truths. I'm going to pull a few cards. So I'm just sort of comment on astrology and numerology. For the highest wisdom is compromise. We have to find a balance. We have to find the middle ground. So just be flexible. And there are certain things we can compromise upon, and other things we cannot. For what we need to understand is the creator, the power of the to become our own sovereign self, to become the creator. What we need to do is to slow down. We need to slow down. slow down our minds, slow down to move. It's like we'll come into much the subtle frequency happening to continue to cultivate the peace, the silence within. Is a very to be stoic, to be able to connect to this stillness within is going to be a really wonderful quality to have, and something really that, because there's so much dark truths that are about to be revealed. And so humanity is going to be a crash, like more than the C-19 or the UKR war. All of that is all part of a scenario that will allow us to come into this world peace and understanding. We need to dismantle all of the dark energies. For the Anunnakis were the first, manipulated the human genes, the extraterrestrial races of human hybrids from Orion, and so we were quite limited because of that, and they wanted to create servant. So, but the DNA is awakening. The biggest challenge is more from the Draco reptilians. They created this dark shadow matrix, and they implanted like false memories, false history. But they have no longer power over over what is going on here, because the ascension process, the decomposition is coming, will continue, but the awakening is also going. So we want to move on the awakening path, the flow of love and light, and the outcome is receptivity. We're going to be able to move into the state of receptivity. There is nothing more wonderful than to receive. Sometimes it's wonderful to give, but we can also receive. For the transition will be easy in reality. We have to prepare for an easy transition, and we are all being prepared to achieve the maximum level of spiritual capacity that our soul has chosen for this cycle of existence. It means we'll be elevated to the maximum level that we are capable with. The tests are very hard because the soul and spirit, we know we have this capacity to integrate this high level. No matter what it is, it's then we'll start a new cycle on this higher level, and then once the cycle will be completed, we'll have to question what will be a new and next level ascension. But in truth, the Spirit showed me that we have the potential to be supreme, ultimate, absolute, and infinite. There's infinite. The infinity of God can be shared from the experience. Everything that can be shared with it. Well, there's so much that can be shared within the physical vehicle. There's things that cannot be shared within any sort of physical vehicle in relationship to the infinity of God. But there is so much that can be shared within and this is really also. So know there is a part of you that is infinite, always has been, always will be. It is called what we call God, creator, source, and it is your true self. It is the essence of all that is in truth. And so this idea of permanent peace, there is this book that was written in 18th century by a philosopher named Immanuel Kant that should be a mandatory reading for all people that engage in public service. It's called the Philosophical Discourse on Perpetual Peace. It means it's not that long, it's very simple, but he explains it's the first one that envision the possibility that all nation states can live in peace if the politics kneel down before moral and ethics. It serves the highest good. If it does not do that, it does not serve the higher good, the highest good. So I'm going to pull a few cards where there's this big preparation for this solstice. For also we have to accept that whatever happens in our life, it is part of the wisdom of God. It is everything that is happening in life, no matter how distorted it may seem. It is part. We have to move into the acceptance when we go through an experience that is unwanted, because we feel frustrated, and we feel like if we was all in our power, we would click in our finger and we would change everything. In essence, it's like we're not understanding what God puts us through certain things. And when we're experiencing negative things, it's an opportunity. It's by compassion that the Creator allows, or our soul and spirit allows those darker, limited form energies, thoughts, beliefs to be emerging, so that we can be transmuted and be free from that and move into the state of grace, the state of acceptation. For when we experience something that is unpleasant, it is karma, but it's not a punishment. It is an opportunity to liberate, to feel free from from something that was buried deep inside. So it's like it is not God that creates suffering. It's like Plotin. There was a philosopher named Plotin. He says, if God is good and God is love and God is one, how can we ever suffer? But it's not. It's the free will that is given to each soul to experience for a very long time, and then sooner or later, it's like, whoa, we've created all that. We have to face all that, all those memories, all those action creation. And so my guardian angel says it's a problem with all souls. So I'm going to pull a few cards. The highest wisdom is nothing is better than your home, to feel good in your body and to create a beautiful environment. Eventually, once we have the resources, it is good to utilize our resource to make this planet a paradise, and to do whatever we can, in whatever way we can imagine, picture it, to make it, to bring it to this maximum potential of joy, happiness, nature, to bring nature. We're going to reconnect with nature. It's going to be very wonderful. What we need to understand is the time of living and departing, to be ready to be ready to be spontaneous when the time comes. What we need to understand is why there is so many ins and outs of things that we're still wondering. So it's good to ask the question when we're ready. A lot of questions I ask a spirit, because I'm a very curious person. For that is wonderful. It's curiosity can kill the cat. For instance, Schlossenberg is in quantum physics. If you put a cat in the box with poison, and until you open the box, you won't know if the cat has eaten the poison or not. So it is the curiosity of the scientist that killed the cat, not the poison itself, from a quantum physics point of view. But the curiosity is a wonderful thing, and sometimes we ask questions and spirits tell me, but you will see, because it's part, everything comes in due time, and God has his plan, the collective soul has its own plan. So we do not want to be in a hurry. We want to slow down as much as possible, to be in a receptive mode in order to receive the answer we seek, and the outcome is going to be happy, joy, fulfillment, happiness, abundance, health, sharing, inspiration, creativity, to see joy and perfection everywhere. For it is only God can see perfection on all levels, because he knows that each imperfection is serving the evolution of consciousness. So as we align and let go of our limitation and turn to the pure heart, to the heart, the source, the creator, you can we are allowing this intelligence to become more involved in our life. For we are very late in terms of revelation and technologies. There's all kind of advanced technologies that could have changed the world and make this place a better place. So it's kind of created a state of emergency, a tension that is there, because the spirit is like, the earth is not going to be able to wait forever. Spirit's not going to be able to wait forever, and so people down here on the ground have to do their thing. Otherwise, it's going to be shaken up. It's going to be a shake-up. So I thank you very much if you like this video, for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I don't know if there is a bell or not, and for your donations as well. And if you want a private session, you can send me an email. Although I'm not gonna be able to take on much more sessions, because I'm gonna have other responsibilities that are coming. Finish with this song. It's a song it's called San Francisco, from Scott McKenzie. Because this golden age that is coming is really the era, is the inheritance of the hippie movement. Peace and love. It's really it's like the seeds of love and peace for a global society and brotherhood was already sown in the hippie movement. And San Francisco is like, personally, I know I will be called to return to San Francisco. I know I've been there a few times, but I've lived in Los Angeles. I've always been more comfortable in Los Angeles than San Francisco, but with my project, so I know LA is going to be, because it's where I opened my first gallery. I have friends and family there, and so I'm going to do something in LA. But Spirit says you cannot bypass San Francisco, the bay, the bridge. It's like you got to do something there, so I will be doing something there as well. And so this song is called San Francisco. It goes like this. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. If you're going to San Francisco, you're gonna meet some gentle people there. Those who come to San Francisco, summertime will be a loving there. In the street streets of San Francisco. Gentle people with flowers in their hair. All across the nation, such a strange vibration. People in motion. There's a whole generation with a new explanation. People in motion. People in motion. For those who come to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. If you come to San Francisco, summertime will be a loving there. If you come to San Francisco, summertime will be a loving there. So you will go to San Francisco. Well, now it's been more like a tech people than hippies over there, but we'll see. And there's also some wonderful restaurants. I remember having clients and friends there for some connections, eating some wonderful Asian and Italian food in San Francisco. It's a very beautiful, beautiful town. It's a small town when you come in relationship to Los Angeles. And the card of the day is really the study, continue to study for the more... it is important to continue to enrich yourself, not to listen to the mind, the polarized, catastrophic discourse of the illusion, but to continue to cultivate yourself with. Here it's like is with Ariel, and it is the 8th of Ariel. It says you can be proud of the work you have accomplished. It is by practicing that we learn. Consider returning to study or to follow a training. So see what you like and continue to cultivate yourself, prepare yourself to continue to learn. You've done some wonderful work, and it is really by practice. It is not by, once we know something, we have to see how we can integrate it within practice, to be practical. There was a philosopher, Aristotle. He tried to make philosophy practical. For a long time, I was a little bit not so much Aristotelian, because the main thing I read when I went back to it was his metaphysics, and his metaphysics is complete nonsense, but he's wrote many other things from what I'm discovering a little bit. So it's not this. He was a Stoic, he was a Platonician. Well, I believe he was before he invented zoology. Yet his science plunged mankind into 1,000 years of scientific ignorance, and like dark age of ignorance. But he brought a lot of very essential idea to the picture. The fact that a whole is more than the sum of its parts. Yet we know that it is the weakest part that will constitute the value of the whole. And the card of the day is the decision. There are decisions to be made. We want to move out of this materialistic process. It's the Archangel Jophiel. Here she's opening the cage so you can run free. Free yourself from anything that prevents you from moving forward. Need to purify. Unjustified worry induced by the lack of trust in yourself. So stop worrying, forget all the guilt, forgive yourself, forgive others, move into the creative flow, and trust yourself. Trust that are we capable of loving ourselves and supporting ourselves just as much as the universe is supporting us, for we are supported by the universe in every moment in so many ways. Each of our cells are vibrant with life. So it's like everything, the atoms, the cells, the body, the earth, the solar system, the universe, everything is, we're just part of this great dance, and is to learn to align with the highest frequency that is possible for us. Well, thank you very much. Wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Adonai.